of that one, then you have root 2 over 2, root 3 over 2, root 4 over 2. Then here you put root 0 over 2. I want to welcome you to class today. Now let's talk about trigonometry. You see, there are certain questions you will be asked. You will be asked questions as regarding special angles, angles like angles 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees. And if you're writing JAMB exam, you can be very sure you will not be allowed to use the calculator. Alright? And then even if you're writing exams where you can use calculator, the calculator can actually serve as a waste of time. So you should have a way you can easily approach, or you can easily remember those special angles. So I'm going to give you a shortcut that you can actually use to know the special angles. Now, so we're going to look at what sine 0 degrees will be, sine 30 degrees will be. But before we proceed, it's important that you note this. Sine 30 is 0.5. That is 1 over 2. Half, 1 over 2. I repeat, sine 30 is 1 over 2. So if you have a triangle, alright, a right angle triangle, and you remember your sole contour, alright, so your sole is opposite over that sine theta equals, so sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. And I just told you now that your angle 30 degrees sine 30 is 0.5. If you check your calculator, that is 1 over 2. So that means the opposite to angle 30 degrees is 1, and the hypotenuse is 2. And if you use your Pythagoras theorem, you will see that your adjacent will be root 3. Alright, so sine theta is it, so my sine 30 is going to be opposite, which is 1 over hypotenuse, which is over 2. My cos 30 degrees is going to be, chi is adjacent over hypotenuse, and that will be what? Root 3 over 2. While my tan 30 is going to be adjacent, opposite over adjacent. What's the opposite to angle 30 degrees? 1. What is the adjacent? Root 3. So my sine 30 is 1 over 2. So I will come over to my sine 30 degrees, I'll write 1 over 2. That is the only one you need to master. From this you can actually find the value for the other ones. Right? So let's look at, so here you just write root 1 over 2. You put a square root of that one. Then you have root 2 over 2, root 3 over 2, root 4 over 2. Then here you put root 0 over 2. Then whatever you have done here, you reverse it here. But before we proceed, let's look at our angle 60 degrees from here. The sum of angle in the triangle is 180 degrees. So if you have removed 90, you have 90 left. If you remove 30 from the 90 left, you have 60. So I can as well say here is 60 degrees. Now this time, this is my opposite, this is my adjacent, this is the hypotenuse. So if you look at angle 60 degrees, so let's write for angle 60 degrees. What is going to be our sine 60? Sine 60 will be opposite over what? Over hypotenuse. What's the opposite to 60 degrees? Root 3 over what's the hypotenuse? 2. Then what is cos 60? Cos 60 will be chi adjacent over hypotenuse. What's the adjacent to 60 degrees? 1 over what? 2. And tan 60 will be equal to 2 opposite to adjacent. What's the opposite to this? For root 3 over adjacent is 1, which is the same as root 3. Alright. So before we leave sine, can you see that sine 30, we said root 3 over root 1 over 2. From here, sine 60 is what? Root 3 over 2. Can you see sine 60 here is root 3 over 2? So that is correct. Now, so you might be saying, but if I check my sine 90, if you press your sine 90 on the calculator, what would it give you? What is the square root of 4? It's 2. 2 divided by 2, 1. So if you press sine 90 on your calculator, you see that the answer will be 1. This root 2 over 2, if you press sine 45 in your calculator, what will it give you? So this is the same as what it's going to give you. For your cos, just reverse everything that you have here. Alright, reverse it. If you reverse it, here we now be root 0 over 2, root 1 over 2, root 2 over 2, root 3 over 2, root 4 over 2. So if you punch cos 0 in your calculator, you see that your answer will be 1, because root 4 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So this is the same thing as 1. 1. If you press your cos 30 is root 3 over 2. So look at from here, cos 30 is what? Root 3 over 2. Do we have root 3 over 2 here? Then cos 45, I'm going to show you how to calculate for 45. Cos 60, square root of 1 is 1. So cos 60 is 1 over 2. Can you see cos 60 1 over 2 here? So your cos 60 and sin 30 has to be the same. Your sin 60 and cos 30 has to be the same with 3 over 2. So we have done all of that. Is that okay? And for here, square root of 0 is 0. 0 divided by 2 is going to be equal to what? 0. Then 0 divided by any value will give you 0. So here is 0. So if you press cos 90 in your calculator, can you press that and tell me what will your answer be? Alright, so your answer is 0, 0. Okay? Now for us to calculate for our tan theta, in trigonometry, anytime you see tan theta is always the same thing as sin theta over cos theta. That is your tan theta. Are you with me? Now, if that is the case, that means for us to get our tan theta, we'll divide sin theta by cos theta. So to fill this, just divide this by this, divide this by this, divide this by this, divide this by this, divide this by this. This root 0, square root of 0 is 0. 0 divided by 2 is equal to 0. So if you punch this from your calculator, sin 0, you see your answer will be 0. Alright. Root 1 is the same as 1 over 2. So we have all of that sorted. This is sorted, this is sorted. Now, so, okay, so before we go to tan theta, let me resolve this 45 degrees. If you look at your angle 45 degree, you have this right angle triangle. If you have 45 degrees here, you also have 45 degrees here. Why? Because this plus this is 90 degrees plus 90, that's 180 degrees. So here is going to be 1, 1, and root 2. So if you are going to look for what is going to be your sine 45, sine 45 will be opposite over hypotenuse. That would be what? What is the opposite? Opposite here is 1 over root 2. Cos 45 is adjacent over hypotenuse. What is the adjacent to this 45 degree? 1, hypotenuse is root 2. Then what is the so we are through with our angle 30 degrees. So what will be tan 45 degrees? Tan 45 is toward, opposite over adjacent. That is, what's the opposite to 1 over adjacent is 1. That is 1. So tan 45 will be 1. We will get there shortly. Now, you might be looking at, but my sine 45 is root 2 over 2. How come I'm having 1 over root 2? Earlier I mentioned the fact that you have to rationalize the denominator. According to the rule of sort, you are not meant to have a square root as a denominator. You have to rationalize it. So if you rationalize sine 45, let's see if our answer is going to be this. So to rationalize this, we multiply by root 2 over root 2. So let's do that here. So if you want to rationalize 1 over root 2, so you have 1 over root 2 times root 2 over root 2. Root 2 times 1 is what? Root 2 over. What is root 2 times root 2? That is root 4. But the square root of 4 is 2. So that will be root 2 over 2. And you see that what we have here is the same root 2 over 2. Alright, so this is the same thing as 1 over root 2. You punch this in your calculator, 1 over root 2, and punch root 2 over 2, you get the same answer. Alright, so that settles this. Alright, so it's exactly the same with what you have here. Now let's talk about tan theta. So for us to get tan theta, like I said earlier, you just divide sin theta by cos theta. So for this 0 divided by 1, when you divide 0 by any number, the value will be equal to 0. Alright, so this value is 0. Then this divided by this, for us to get 30 degrees. So let's quickly let's do some calculations here. So what do you have for sin 30? You have 1 over root 2 divided by root 3 over root 2. Or over 2, that's going to be 1 over root 2 times 2 over root 3. This, let me take that again. 1 over root 2 times 2 over root 3. Hold on. I said sin 30 divided by cos 30. This is 1 over 2, not 1 over root 2. 1 over 2, thank you. So our sin 30 is 1 over 2 divided by root 3 over 2. That would be 1 over 2. So let's take that all over again. So for us to calculate sin 30, we'll just say sin 30 divided by cos 30. And sin 30 is 1 over 2 divided by what is cos 30 root 3 over 2. That will be 1 over 2 times 2 over root 3. 2 cancels 2. The final answer will be 1 over root 3. So for our sin 30, now tan 30 is going to be 1 over root 3. Remember, we said, okay, from here, what do you have here? For your tan 30 degrees. From the calculation we did earlier, you will see that we got 1 over root 3 for our 30 degrees. Alright, for tan 30 degrees. So it's 1 over root 3. And mind you, if you want to rationalize this, you have root 3 over root 3. That is root 3 over root 9, which is 3. So either root 3 over 3, or you just leave it as 1 over root 3. You get the same value. Right. For your sine of tan 45, divide this divided by this, they are exactly the same, so your answer will be 1. So if you punch your calculator, tan 45 is 1. Then for tan 60 is sine 60 divided by cos 60. That will be what? Root 3 over 2 divided by root 2 divided by 1 over 2. That will be root 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. 2 cancels 2. The answer is root 3. So here is root 3. Why? 3. Why time 90 degrees? Time 90, that is 1 divided by 0. If you divide any number by 0, it is undefined. Okay, so if you punch that into your calculator, you are going to have max error. So that tends to infinity, so undefined. So you don't have an answer, a value for that. And this is the table. I've given you a proof of all of that. This is a proof of angle 45 degree. Earlier, I gave you a proof of 30 degrees. I gave you a proving of 60 degrees. And this is how it works. So what you need to do is to master this table. Once you master this table, you can actually plot this somewhere in your question paper before you begin to answer your questions. For those of you that are JAMB students, just plot this somewhere in your, if you are doing CBT exam, they will give you a rough sheet where you can do your calculations. Just quickly plot this, and it will help you so that when you come across questions that has to do with angles, instead of looking for calculator or trying to waste time punching your calculator on the screen, you can just refer to this and you will get your answers. I believe you enjoyed the class. I want you to just go to the comment section and try to give a comment to this class. If you have any question, drop it at the comment section. I promise to get back to you with the answer. Also, do well to subscribe to our channel, Brainiac Academy, so that you can always get notification. You can always get notification when we release new videos. No, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Yes, do not forget to hit the notification bell so that when we post a new content, you can have access to it. Thank you very much for your time. Share this video with your friends. We'll see you in the next class.